Hi everyone, welcome to some more Dice Than Homebrews. Today we have a special episode for you all. We are trying out some different episode formats to try and mix things up a bit. So, if you've got any ideas for like a fancy episode like this, let us know. We might do something different. The other reason why we're doing a special episode is because I've been trying to get Nate to playtest Ashiok for like weeks now. So this is a great way to get multiple things done at once.
Yep.
So we're gonna be doing a live playtest of Ashiok, a hero coming out with the Pride Collection in a couple months. Plan is this is gonna be a playtest for myself, so if Nate breaks anything, I can fix it, and also so you all can see how we playtest and what kinds of best practices we do, and what the atmosphere is like and stuff like that. So I'm playing as Ninja. I'll explain real quick why I'm playing as Ninja. One of the things we advise is that you don't play a homebrew versus a homebrew when you're playtesting, because if I played a different homebrew and it was playing Ashiok and then Ashiok won by like 30, we don't know if Ashiok is overpowered or if the other homebrew is underpowered or like a mix of both. When we play official heroes, these official heroes are backed up by hundreds of tournament games, so we know how strong they are. So then this gives us like a baseline where we can compare Ashiok's power level to based on how this game goes. Ninja is like a B tier hero. She's like middle of the pack. Not very strong, not very weak. And I think that's the power level that I'm going for with Ashiok. I usually aim a little higher, but as you're going to see in a minute, Ashiok is very oppressive, and I think if they were any stronger, this would be really annoying. It's still really annoying, but palatable amount of annoying. So that's why I'm playing Ninja. I'm not going to explain any of Ninja's stuff. It's just Ninja. The other reason why I'm playing Ninja is because she has a lot of access to undefendable, and one of Ashiok's side gimmicks is you'll see her revolves around rolling different defenses.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see how breaking down that side gimmick affects the kit. So that's kind of what I'm going with this into. Nate has a vague idea of how this hero works, but hasn't read anything in detail. So he's going to do that now, live.
Yay! So that's another thing you can do when playtesting is not tell your playtester anything and just see what they read, where they get confused, if anywhere, stuff like
Basic
that.
strategy.
Yeah.
What do they figure out?
See if they think they immediately lock into what your hero is supposed to do, or if they completely go the wrong way, and then you might need to change some things to make it more clear how your hero is supposed to work. So, first thing I'm going to do is check out what this special card over here says, Lost Memories. When instructed to exile a card, put it under this card face up. You can only remove a card from under here if you own the card or it is a basic card. Cards 1, 2, or 18. For those of you who don't know, cards all have a little tag up here in the top corner that has the hero tag. So this is ASHI, the first four letters of the hero name, and then a number, which is the number of the card. So this is 32 because the 32nd card in the deck, there's only 32. And all heroes have the same first 18 cards. I'm not really going to read these. I'm just going to zip by them. Oh, well, okay.
Surprise twist.
Well, what a twist. Okay, so apparently one of this hero's
all
things...
heroes except Ashiok.
Apparently one of this hero's things is they don't
The basic
have
card.
the basic cards. So, Ninja, let's see. Okay, so Ninja over
The
here...
deck is shuffled, but yeah.
Oh, the deck's shuffled, but yeah. So Getting Paid is card, I think it says number 9 right there. Every official hero and every homebrew,
Almost
for the
every
most part, yeah, has the same first 18 cards. Like, card number 9 is always Getting Paid. And so it's the stuff, like Getting Paid, what status effects, So Wild, Twice as Wild, Double Up, Triple Up, those things. That's what this is referring to. The basic cards is what we call them.
You can't take any cards that are unique to the Ninja.
Right. So I can't swipe a hero upgrade or Fan of Knives or anything like that. Only the cards that normally show up in every hero's deck. Okay, so after card you took from here is played, put it in its owner's discard. So I assume, if you own the card or it is a basic card. So even if that indicates to me that I could get some of Ninja's cards over here, and if I do, I don't own them. Ninja still owns them, and then I somehow might be able to play them, and when I do, they go back over to the Ninja's discard pile. Okay, cool. So, and this is related to exile, which is highlighted, so it's probably a keyword. Alright, leaflet. Loyalty, unique, stack limit 11. Unique, I usually jump down the bottom to just double check. It does not have the cannot be removed or transferred. Instead, it has when one or more of these tokens would be removed or transferred. Wait, when one or more of these tokens would be removed or transferred, remove one of these tokens instead. Oh, okay. So if what status affects me while I have 10 of these, I still only remove one. And if you try to transfer one, I remove it instead.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Stack limit 11. Gain or lose loyalty for effects. Yeah, just a lot. It's fine. I'm not quite as thrown off by this because I've tried some of Amy's other Magic the Gathering style homebrews that used the loyalty sort of setup
this is
before.
My theme. All the Magic heroes I make have this,
right,
with different effects, but the same idea.
So once per turn during their main phase, if Ashiok has at least one loyalty, then we spend them to activate one of these effects. 0 tokens. So technically, not spending any tokens can do it without loyalty, but it locks you out of doing the other effects because it's once per turn for one of these effects. Yeah, once per turn, one of these effects. Exile the top card of a chosen opponent's deck. Alright, so exile would mean to just swoop the top card of this and put it under here. Got it. Yep. Gain 2 loyalty, so I can increase my loyalty by doing that. I have 3 on board already, which, yeah, okay. Set lost memories to the side, already done, and get 3 loyalty. So I get to start with 3. Good to know. X tokens put 1 from under lost memories into your hand. So that's how I'm going to be able to play these, is I'm going to be able to spend loyalty to get the exiled cards into my hand, and X is twice the CP cost of that card. Okay, so that could be a lot. So if, for instance, I somehow end up with a twice as wild under here, which costs 3 CP, I'm going to have to spend 6 loyalty to get it into my hand, which is a lot. Worth it, I assume, unless this 10 token thing is important. 10 tokens, all opponents exile their discard piles. Okay, that does seem pretty good. But you'd have to get 10 tokens to do that, to get all the cards, and then you have to build back up to X tokens to get the good ones. So
for quick reference, I'm going to refer to this 10 token effect as an ult during this game, because this loyalty gimmick is stolen from Magic the Gathering, and in Magic the Gathering, these like giant spend all your tokens for a huge effect things are called ults. This is not to be confused with the actual ult on Nate's board.
Okay, good to know. I don't play a lot of Magic, so I would not have known that's what you're talking about. If you spend your last loyalty, you may not use this token again for the rest of the game. Oh, okay, so well, that explains why it's stack limit 11, and this is the 10 effect. So I actually have to get 11 unless, if I want to use this, because this is useless if I can't use this, probably. I guess there could be another way to get them, but this is probably the main way, I'm going to guess. So, alright, that's interesting. Shade is positive, stack limit 1. Activate Become Darkness. All caps immediately tells me that's an ability name. So when Ashiok is attacked with defendable damage, they may spend this token to activate their Become Darkness defensive ability. Yep, instead of their Flourish defensive ability. So I'm going to come check what that is out. Flourish, prevent 1 per A on 6 exile top card of your attacker's deck. Okay, and we've got 3, 2, 1 dice. I'm seeing now. That's pretty basic and not too bad, actually. That's 1.5 delta just off the prevent and an extra effect. I guess that's pretty bad.
It's like
not
2
great.
Point something on the low end.
Total.
Depends on how much you value exiling a card.
Right, okay. And then Become Darkness is roll forward, and you may not activate this ability unless instructed that you can. So that makes Shade make sense. I can only do this if I have Shade. Gain 1 CP per A, prevent 2 per B. Nice. It's Thor, but better, basically.
It's basically the worst parts of Thor and Cursed Pirates defense.
Yeah, it is. Oh my
disgusting.
gosh. And on 6 draw card. Great. Oh, that's nasty. Okay, so Shade, pretty good. Just looking at that, what's the delta of that? Let's see, 1.5 per A, which is a half, 0.75.
I call this 1 because you get like very diminishing returns on the CP gain.
Okay, call that 1, prevent 2 per B. Ugh, and
this is 2 delta by itself.
Yeah. Because you got 4. That's like 2. This is like
2 more.
2, and then on 6
so
is
this is like
50.
It's
Yeah.
really mean.
Ugh, okay, that's good. All right. So I'm just evaluating how much value Shade is worth. So if this is like 5 total, and this is like 1.5 to 2, then the token is giving me like 3 delta worth of value. Nightmare stacks to 2. Roll 2 for negative effect. When a player afflicted with this token begins their offensive roll phase, they must remove this token, roll 2 dice, and add the number of cards they own under lost memories to the total roll value. Got it. So whoever's rolling, so I need to keep track of. So for this, for the sake of easy tracking, I might keep 2 separate piles next to my lost memories card. One
Also
for your
worth
stuff
noting,
and
you
one for
don't
my stuff.
you don't necessarily have to do that because you don't have any basic cards, so it's very easy to tell which cards are mine and which cards are yours.
That's true. That's true. But for
Yeah.
you can't see this, but for me, I've got the for the recording purposes to keep a clean screen, I've got the F11
Right.
toggled off, which means I can't right click and search a deck, which makes it harder for me to count. So, okay. And on 6 or lower, how many dice am I rolling? The most remove this token, roll 2 dice. Okay. On 6 or lower, take 1 damage. 7 to 8, get 1 fewer roll attempts this roll phase. On 9 to 10, exile a card from your randomly. On 11 to 12, Ashiok heals 3. On 13 or higher, receive 2 isolated damage and gain another Nightmare. Do not roll for it this turn. Okay, so what I'm seeing here immediately, there's a combo between the 10 token effect up here and this Nightmare token, because I can exile a gazillion of your cards at once, assuming you've played a bunch of them, pull your whole discard pile under here, and then get a nice big, probably like +8, hopefully, or roundabouts there to this roll value to get it up into the high numbers for really strong effects. Okay.
Yeah, usually by the time you -10 on the loyalty, you have it. I have enough cards in exile that this is always 13 or higher, pretty much, and like you don't even have to roll for it.
Great. Which I will be doing now.
Oh god.
Always roll. Okay, cool. Then basic attack 4, 5, 7. Don't like that 4. That's interesting. 4, 5, and then skip 1 and go straight to 7 on 4 of a kind.
It's like 3, 5, 7, but I increased the 3 to a 4.
But yeah, but 3 sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, on 4 of a kind numbers, you may use loyalty on an additional time this turn. Oh, okay. Does that stack as in if I haven't used loyalty yet and I do this, I can use it twice in my second main phase?
Yeah.
Cool. Thought Seize. Look at your target's hand. What is that? That's a okay, that's a combo. Roll objective. Look at your target's hand. Choose
Spider-Man player over here.
choose
it's combo.
choose the one. What would you call it? Bounty?
Sturdy blow.
Sturdy blow? Okay. Choose 1 card from their hand and
It's close,
exile
probably
it.
closer to Bounty Hunter because it's not a fallback to anything.
Okay. Deal 2 undefendable. This side is just straight from that, so I'm looking for roll objectives here, which are looking a little awkward. Sing for Death, which is 4 Bs. Gain Shade, deal 6. Look at the top card of the target's deck. You may put it on the bottom. Oh, okay. Could be good, could be bad. I mean, a little bit of control over my opponent's deck. If it's a bad card, I guess I can leave it up there and then give you a crappy card. So, Nightmare Weaver. You may exile 1 in your hand to draw 1. Okay. Trade a bad card for a good card, hopefully. Deal 6 damage and roll 3 dice. Double A, it's undefendable. Add 1 by BB damage. On 6, inflict Nightmare. Okay, and then here's the where I was like going to say Nightmare seems a little sparse over here, but
there we go.
It's over here, yeah. On straights, inflict Nightmare, deal 6. Gain Shade, inflict Nightmare, deal 7. Okay, and then put 1 from under lost memories into your hand, gain Shade, deal 7, undefendable. Cool, and then ultimate, gain Shade, inflict Nightmare, deal 10 plus 1 for each card the target owns under lost memories. Cool. With no upper limit other than the amount of cards that I can manage to stick in here.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, and
I don't like what you're plotting.
Usually when I play a homebrew, I don't bother looking through the entire deck. I kind of just
Yeah, please don't.
I just read it when I get to it.
Yeah, because there's no basic cards, so you'd have to read all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yes.
we can look at the cards after the game.
Yeah,
If you don't see
that's
all of them.
yeah, that's usually what we do. Is I just leave the cards go in blind, unless there's something super specific about the character's gimmick that needs you to know what the cards are.
There is like a codex card in there, so you're gonna be kind of disadvantaged if you draw it.
Yeah, that's
Because
fine.
you won't know what your options are.
Yeah,
Right.
and then at the end of the game, we flip out all the characters' cards and go through them to see.
Yeah. Because that also Nate has a better idea of how this character actually plays, so like upgrades and stuff, he can better evaluate.
Yeah, 3,
One.
1. All right, so I'm going first. Which, good or bad, not sure if missing the CP is good or bad, but it does let me do loyalty more, so I think that's probably good. Because this is once per turn during the main phase, and that's not in any way limited to going first or second, so I can just do that. I'll go ahead and do 0 tokens, exile the top card of a chosen opponent's deck, so that'll be you.
Alright.
So exile, you're getting paid.
Oh, I wanted that.
Well, hold on. Put it under this card. Face up. Okay, good. I realized I flipped it without remembering if I was supposed to put it face up or not. You do. Okay. Gain 2 loyalty. 1, 2. Gonna make these in nice little rows here. Do rows of 4. Nice. Okay, so that's it. Can't do any more loyalty stuff. Check the cards I got. Normally, I'm at a bit of a disadvantage when playtesting, because Amy knows if I ever have to read a card, it's because it's one of the character-specific cards. But
No,
all of these are character-specific, so you don't know whether I'm reading.
I always scare people by like knowing, like when someone says like, "Oh my god," I'm like, "Oh, so you have this card," and they're like, "How did you know?"
Mm-hmm. Sneaky, sneaky.
It's not like I know there's like an 8 CP card in the deck or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's not in this one.
Oh, okay, there wasn't the last hero.
Yeah, the last hero I made had an 8 CP card.
Okay. Okay. Got it, and I'm gonna roll. All right. 22446. I've already got Nightmare Weaver right off the bat. I don't really know if any of these are quote bad that I should be looking to trade them. And I have another idea, anyways. Now I have look at the target's hand, choose one from their hand, and exile it. Deal 2 undefendable damage. For Thoughtseize, yeah, I'll take that. Thoughtseize.
God. Yeah, you got it.
Ooh.
Which card are you gonna take?
Would you look at that?
Oh God.
What are the odds?
My poker face wasn't good enough. I'll take 2 undefendable.
Don't mind if I do. You weren't going to use that, were you?
That doesn't feel as bad. That doesn't feel as bad on turn 1 because I couldn't have done anything about that. Like
you didn't never have
it. Played it earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't have obviously you didn't have getting paid. So
sometimes I'll play against Ashiok and I'll like hold a really good card and then be like, wait a minute, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
It's vulnerable.
Okay. That's all for me.
Gauge. This is a really frustrating hero, as you can probably tell, because Nate is like stealing my cards and then playing them. So, like, I am gauging like how bad do I feel after having the best card in my deck swiped out of my hand
immediately.
Nate's probably gonna play it eventually. Not terrible. Like that's kind of funny too. That you just like swipe it immediately.
I'm also already I'm 1 loyalty short of being able to swoop it out of there already. So we'll see. All right, go ahead.
All right, okay. I'm gonna shuffle my hand.
I didn't bother to pay attention to what the rest of your cards were. Oops, that's
enough.
my bad.
There's one of them. I'll upgrade Depth Blossom. Yeah,
okay.
Cool. Walk the line. Normally with Ninja, I would start with Smokescreen, but I kind of feel like I should kill you quickly.
Mm-hmm. I get the feeling that this here. Oh, I forgot to turn on my Do Not Disturb. Oops.
Oh.
All right. There we go. All right. I'm gonna guess that this hero gets stronger and stronger and stronger the longer the game
Yeah,
goes.
I mean,
Based on the loyalty
I would rather
mechanics.
have you at like 30 by the time you can actually like use the twice as wild. So I'm gonna do walk the line on roll one. How do you
Alright.
feel about that?
I feel like that's fine with me. Go ahead.
Okay, I rolled 2 dice. That's oh god.
Oh no.
Uh,
Three
3
undefendable.
undefendable.
Fine by me.
Woo.
1, 2, 3.
Go ahead. Go.
Alright. Also, you might notice this game takes longer than normal because I'm unfamiliar with the hero, so I have to do some extra thinking and some extra talking and reading to get through everything. But that's okay. Playtest games typically take a little bit longer than
Yeah, they
normal
should.
games. Mm-hmm.
If they take just as long as your normal games, you're probably not doing them right.
Yeah.
Slowing down makes you play better, which then means the game will be more accurate.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and do the first effect on loyalty.
Yeah.
To get
Take
to
a card.
exile the top. Ooh, Vegas baby. I guess you don't
Okay.
get any extra CP this game.
No, I don't.
Bummer. Alright. And also, I've pulled all cards that I can use
Yeah.
so
3
far.
for 3.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is pretty good right off the bat. A large straight. I mean, I'd be stupid not to do that, right?
Yeah.
But I do
Oh,
have
God.
another idea that may or may not be a good idea. Because I'm only got +3 on Nightmare so far. Which means it could be not that great. So, I think I'll actually keep. I'm actually not gonna do that. I'm just gonna keep that 6 and send it back.
This concerns me so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I also tend to try stuff that's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go for
Okay.
Thought Seize again.
All right. No response.
Okay. Look at target's hand.
Your targets are not so good this time.
One more time. Train and Shade Walk.
Nate can take these cards. He just can't use them.
Yeah.
Depends on how scared he is of my minion upgrade.
Yeah. Not particularly. I'll
It's
just.
good. It's a good minion.
I'm gonna make you have CP troubles. So I'm gonna yoink that one. Deal 2 undefendable damage. And
Ouch.
then I'll pay 2 CP for subtlety to put your upgrade back on top of your deck.
That's
Right.
very nice.
Put on top of that player's deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is effectively just lose. They lose. I spend 2. They lose 2. CP. Fine by me.
And
Then
a card, sort of.
sort of. And I'll pass back to you.
All right. Income. Let's play it again. I liked it for the first time. I'm gonna roll.
You liked it for 2 CP, but do you like it for 4 CP?
4. Not as much. I think I'll keep the 5 and the 6. This leads me to like a smoke screen. Or like a straight, maybe. Who knows? I don't like this anymore. I could reroll the 6. That gives me a Death Blossom 33% of the time. Otherwise, they're just gonna basic attack, which is kind of sad. But I guess it's probably 2, 3, 5, because then I'm more likely to go small straight. That doesn't really do anything for me, though. Doing that. Because it's still like Death Blossom or. Like, rolling 2 dice instead of just 1 doesn't open up any other things I could roll. Right? Except for like smoke screen.
Yeah, if you roll this, you're looking. If you just roll this, you're looking exclusively for a 4/5.
Right. I think I'd roll with the 6. I think I'm just gonna roll the 6.
Then you're looking
I don't-
for
not
still
in
a
a
4/5
Death Blossom or a basic.
or basic. Yeah,
Basically. Yeah. Not in the best position ever.
yeah. That's a tough reroll. Oh, you got the 4 though.
Small straight or Death? I think Death Blossom because I upgraded it, right? Probably.
Otherwise, you wasted your money, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so you got it.
Response.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll 5. I like making it undefendable. Oh,
Yep.
you don't have Shade. I don't like making it undefendable.
Not as good. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm definitely tossing the 1 and the 2.
Okay.
I could toss the 6, or I could keep it. I think probably keeping the 6 is still fine. I think 6 is still better than a 4 or 5. I think your defense is a little over 2 delta. Flourish specifically. So I think I'd rather have that than extra damage, honestly. Um, and also if I roll a second 6, I get a delete poison, which is nice. So I'm gonna just reroll the 1 and the 2.
Okay.
Same thing.
So
Sweet.
2 and 3. So 6 undefendable.
6 undefendable. Yep.
Okay. I will just take 6, I think. Yeah. 5, 6.
All right. And go.
All right. CP in a card. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is enough to pull the twice as wild without going down to 0. Remember, I need to not hit 0 because if I spend my last loyalty, I can't use the token yet for the whole rest of the game. So don't want to do that. But I'll go ahead and do the first effect again anyway.
Okay.
Grab 2 loyalty, burn your top card. Triple up.
Are you kidding me?
Wow, this has been exceptionally good.
Yeah. 4 for 4.
4 for 4. I don't mind if I do. All right. Then I'll roll. All right. Not really a fan of that at all. Go away. That's better. Okay.
Basic me.
Basic you. I missed the 4 of a kind. Rip.
Yeah.
So I'll just
Looks
basic
like
for
4 of a
7.
kind is difficult to roll.
4 of a kind is difficult to roll.
All right. I roll defense.
But I didn't hit any 6s to go for Thoughtseize, so.
Yeah. You could serve me so much. I can't make this any better, so I'll just do 3 back.
3 back, deal 7.
And take
2,
7.
3. Okay. Alright. I'm not too worried about positions right now. I'm only down by 1 health, but I've got a pretty good setup going, so I'll pass.
All right. Income. All right. I'm going to roll.
Okay.
That is a small straight. I feel very tempted to just keep that. Also, another thing about Ashok not having any basic cards in their deck, their dice mod count is much lower. You do have dice mods you can play on me, just much fewer.
Mm-hmm.
So I might do third roll, go for the large straight if that ends up being. I'm probably gonna keep the small straight. I might do third roll large straight if we get to that point. We'll see how I'm feeling. But this is also Death Blossom again. I think I'm taking Death Blossom over the small straight.
If you can get
If
to
I
it.
get it.
Yeah, there you
Death
go.
Blossom.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's roll 5. Do this again. Okay,
Ooh.
no 6s this time, so I think I'm just gonna keep the 3s. See if I can bonk you
So
really
that's
hard.
2 per.
That's
7 undefendable.
7 undefendable.
Okay. 7 undefendable. I'll play whatever this says. Shieldred's Edict. Shieldred's Edict. It's 6 or less, prevent 2, or otherwise prevent 3. So that was 7 damage. So
Yep.
I can prevent 3 and take 4.
Man, not this time has aged a lot. Go ahead.
All right. I've got 8, 9 of these, which is good. Let me go ahead and draw. Sure. I'll play my promo.
Okay.
Oop, and see what happens. Nothing. I draw a card. Fine by me. Okay. I'll go ahead and do the first effective loyalty to gain my last 2.
Okay. Take a card.
Go to 11. And send this one. Ooh, tip it.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Ah,
This has been effective.
this doesn't happen usually.
I swear this never happens. Okay.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, would I be a fool to send a second large straight back?
Yes.
Hunting Thoughtseize. I'm only down 5 health, and I've already done it once. So
what from my perspective, it's not only concerning that Nate keeps rolling large straights, but it's concerning that he's tossing them. Usually a large straight should be so strong that you just snap keep it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of noting this in my head that he feels interested in going for something else, either because he's trying to break something or because he thinks the large straight is underpowered or something like that.
It's because I'm trying to break something.
Yeah. So we'll see if it works out for him. It shouldn't.
I think but the first time I was really
if he's
uninterested because I only had a couple cards over here, but now I've got 6 over here, so I've got
Yeah.
+6 on Nightmare, which makes it a lot stronger because it'll never be the it'll basically never be those first two effects. It'll always be one of the 9 or higher effects, which are all a lot better. So I think I will go ahead and do the large straight now.
All right, good.
So I gain Shade, Inflict Nightmare, and I hit for 7 damage.
All right, let me roll my defense. I'll reroll this one. Okay, 3 back.
Okay.
I'll take 7.
1, 2, 3. And I will go ahead and play whatever this thing is.
Murktide Regent.
Murktide Regent. To roll 5 dice.
All the Magic players watching this are laughing at you right now.
Why? Because I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Yeah, you don't know the card names.
And if I have at least 5 under my thing, I can reroll up to 4 of them. So, roll 5.
This card costs $20 a person.
And then, wow. Okay.
Oh,
so
my God.
turns out I rolled perfect first turn, except for that I already have Shade. So I'm just gonna reroll this and look for 1 more damage, I guess. Plus 5.
Boo. Who made this card? Take 5 more.
How ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. Then. Yeah. I think I'm gonna sell this. I don't think I want this card.
Okay.
And then I'll pass to you.
Alright, income. Okay, so I have 6 cards in Lost Memories. So yeah, Nightmare, if I roll 7 or higher a Nightmare, it'll proliferate. Okay, so I'll just say for transparency, I've got that out of here and I'm going to play it. I'm just deciding what to play it on. This is one of the things I really enjoy about this hero. It's hard to tell which status effect is better.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Nightmare is basically a damage over time, kind of like Burn or Poison at this point, because at this point it's very likely that it will continue to damage me over multiple turns. It's closer to Bleed, if you think about it like that. So it could do a ton of damage to me over the course of this game and other negative stuff. The Shade is stronger now, but it's a one-time thing. I think because I'm trying to, like, burst you down, instead of, like, letting this game go long and letting you snowball out of control, I think I'm going to remove your Shade.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to my roll phase, and let's roll for this Nightmare.
Okay, so roll 2 dice, and then we'll see what happens.
That's 6.
Plus 6 to whatever this roll is.
That's
9
15.
plus 6 is 15, so take 2 damage and gain another Nightmare. And then when you roll for a player, they must remove this token and roll 2. So you remove it when you roll the 2, and then you get 1 back. Nice.
And then I'm going to roll. That was almost a large straight. I saw you. Makes me sad. So again, I think I think I don't want a smoke screen. I am tempted to just continue the Death Blossom train. I think I'm gonna keep 2, 4, 5. Kind of go for straights, and then Death Blossom being a nice fallback.
Mm-hmm.
This is 6. Okay, I just got the same thing again.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point, I toss this in.
You sure you don't just take the smoke screen?
It's really annoying, because... Again, I think I should be trying to rush you down in this matchup, especially because this Nightmare's on me, and it's going to continue to damage me.
That's true.
I feel like that is the normal ninja play, is to smoke screen whenever you don't have a smoke bomb. But I don't feel like I have the time for that, especially you have all these dice mods in here.
Yeah.
And other good stuff, and you can only get 1 at a time. So I feel like if I can do a bunch of damage to you before you have enough loyalty to be able to take all of them, then that at least curbs out. Because, like, right now I'm losing by 6, and you have all of this stuff, so eventually you're going to get all of it, and I'm going to be losing by even more. So I'd like to cut that short. So I think I'm going to reroll this 6, and if I get a 4 or a 5, I'm going to be really sad. Okay, well, I'm really sad. Let's play one more time.
Okay.
Tossed it again. That's my best odds of something, right?
Probably toss the 2 also, I would say.
Think so?
Well, I mean, you just throw the 5, you're 50-50 to hit it.
I can also turn.
Okay, yeah, so slightly better. 66-33. But the 33 is a whiff.
Yeah.
And if you throw all this, you need a 3. If you throw 2, then you need a 3, a 6. 2 swords is a minimum basic.
Right. I mean, so if I get the odds of me getting a 3 or 6 on both these dice is about 50-50.
A 3 or a 6.
it's about, I think it's like 48% or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We are nerds.
Yeah,
This is,
sorry.
don't be this specific for your playtesting. We're just nerds who know these numbers by heart.
Don't worry about it.
And then the odds of rolling 2 swords is 25%.
Yeah.
So that you're probably right. That is probably more likely.
I feel like that's what I would do
Yeah,
in
we'll do
this
it.
position. 3 take well.
Death Blossom.
And a small straight.
Yep.
Yeah, and a minimum basic. All the good things. All right, Death Blossom it is. Go ahead.
I wouldn't call minimum basic a good thing, but all right.
Well, it's not a whiff. How about that?
Fair enough. I'll keep the 6. That was
Yep.
a 6. I'll keep the 6 of the 2 5s. Where are the other 2 dice?
And
Good damage. Same thing.
6
Sweet.
undefendable.
6 undefendable.
All right.
I also probably should have accounted my
5 6.
high undefendable access into whether or not I should remove the shade. Oops.
Oh yeah. Good point. Because shade only works against defendable damage.
Yep.
All right. CP and a card. All right. I have 11 already, so I will not be using that first
Come on,
effect
minus
on
10,
there.
minus 10.
Nope.
For all 2 of my cards.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and do the middle effect for X tokens. XCP cost the card. I want twice as wild, of course. So that'll cost me 6 tokens.
Goodbye.
And it goes to my hand. Woo! I don't think I want this one. Sell that.
This card costs $400.
Then
You know, actually building this deck in Magic the Gathering would be the most expensive thing ever.
I'll roll. 3, 4, 6. I will keep the 6. Don't like that at all. But it is a Nightmare Weaver. I'm at the point now where I want to just go ahead and do some stuff. I don't want to risk whiffing or wasting that twice as wild I just spent a long time acquiring. So I'll do a Nightmare Weaver.
Go ahead.
Exile 1 from my hand to draw 1.
You should exile this one.
You think so? Okay, I think I've been holding this the whole game because I was going to try spam straights, but I don't think that's actually worth it with what I'm trying to do. Oh, yeah. Exile that to draw 1.
Yep.
Okay. Then deal 6 and roll 3. Roll 3 dice. Maybe a 6? No 6, but undefendable and +1. So 7 undefendable, which I don't mind at all.
Alright.
7 undefendable. Then I'll go ahead and I'll play this. You just exile 1 randomly from your hand.
Alright. Pick a card, any card.
I picked this one.
Okay.
Better D. Great. Okay, then I think I will go ahead and so I'll sell this to get back to 3. I really wanted to play that as well, but I'd like to go ahead and just have
3 CP cards.
I was gonna say, I wonder since Amy already knows I have twice as wild.
Yeah. No reason to bluff.
Yeah, getting to the 3 CP now is a little more scary, and plus I just forced her to discard a card, so she's only got 1 card left, and I think I've seen it, but I don't remember. So, all right, it's your turn.
This is why we take notes. Income. Alrighty.
But I know it's not twice as wild because I'm holding Amy's twice as wild.
Yeah.
So
I'll roll for Nightmare. It's +6.
+6 again still. Yep.
5 + 6 is
Okay.
11. You heal 3.
11. I heal 3. I don't mind if I do. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, if I had rolled any higher than that, it probably would have done more. So it's probably better for me. All right, roll 1 Death Blossom. Would you like to twice as wild that?
I would not. Go ahead.
Sweet. This is the plan now. Just go low to the ground. That is a small straight. If I could use this as my ORP, but I'm gonna keep the 4 and the 5 and roll these slashes. All right.
Two,
It's
four,
defendable
8.
for once. So 8.
All right, 8 defendable. I ain't scared. All right. My defense says, wow.
Wow.
Okay, so I just take 8, but I exile the top card of your deck.
Yeah. Take it. I'm gonna throw something.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm not. I'm chill. Go ahead.
I'm
See,
not.
this
I'm
is
not
just
going to
like
throw something.
yeah. No, this is like there's like statistically improbable that's like frustrating, and then there's statistically improbable that's just like funny.
Yep.
Like how many more times are you gonna like take a basic card off the top of my deck?
How many times? Okay, so
Probably gonna lose either way, so I'm just
yeah,
taking the right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in there. Still not quite to lethal with the ultimate. 1 short. Right, it doesn't cause you to exile. No. Okay, I'll just go ahead and roll. And then I'll decide about... Well, actually, I could do the first effect. Yeah, I'll do the first effect to gain 2 and exile the top card of your deck.
Take it.
Boop, boop. Wow. Now...
3 of my 4 offensive dice slots.
Now, if I just happened to roll an ult, which I didn't, it would have been lethal. But I don't like that, so roll again. Wow, that's unfortunate, because I also don't like that at all. Now I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. I could go Sing for Death, but if I miss, which there's a decent chance that I do, I'm just
for those trying to visualize this real objective board is very similar to Santa.
Yeah, if I keep the 1-2, I could basic to just like, if I minimum basic, I'm basically just gonna break even. Ninja almost always does 3 back, so that's not good. If I hit the 4 of a kind, that'll be really good, but that's also unlikely to happen. The Thought Seeds would be great, but super unlikely if I only reroll these 3. I could keep this and send 1 for like a 6. That's not a great idea. Nah, probably send these 3.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Big basic.
Go for it,
Oops, 2 big basic for 7.
Yeah. Roll defense.
And now this will definitely be lethal next turn.
All right, 3. You're playing it all, right? It's gonna be lethal either way. Yeah, 3 back. I'll take 7.
1, 2, 3, and I know Ninja can't deal 17 in a single turn.
I cannot.
So I'm not too worried about dying, which means I'll go ahead and pass to you.
All right, income. All right, I'm going to roll. I feel like it's time to keep 6s, so we're gonna do that. It's not a 6. Also 2, 3, 4. That's tough. Actually, I just realized you have twice as wide. What am I doing?
Not that.
Small straight.
I'll go ahead and play Negate,
Okay.
which is helping hand, but not on 6s.
Yeah.
And I'll have you re-roll the 3.
Okay. A 6, huh? That's a whiff. Go ahead.
Okay. Gain my income. Ooh. So 5. Okay, so I'll spend 2 loyalty to pull 6 it. And then I'll sell Elemental Blast to go up 1 CP, and then
You have like twice as well 6 of pride.
yeah, I sure do. How did you know?
All right, so if you roll 1 6, I die.
Pretty much. What if
Oh,
I
that's
roll
a dumb
that
thing.
many 6s? Okay, so I'll actually Pride 6 it and keep the
That's
twice
my
as
6
wild. Oh yeah, it's your 6 it goes into your discard, and then I'll go for an ult for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17 damage,
In
and
response-
also this if you
okay.
don't have anything.
In response, I'm going to reveal my hand and say good game.
All right.
Yeah, I drew. You grabbed all the
I
good cards.
literally
All the
just
bad
stole.
cards.
I just stole all the good cards. So
Yeah, I drew all the bad cards. All right, so let's talk about the game. So you might be thinking, wow, 17-0 loss. That's kind of drastic, but we have to talk about this. There's a ton of factors. Dice Toad is a game where a lot of luck-based stuff happens, so we have to talk about what kinds of elements, both strategy-based and luck-based, we're playing into this game, and whether or not we think a 17-0 win on Ashiok's side is justifiable. So first, let's talk about skill level. If the two players are at an unequal skill level, then you have to account for that. So, Nate, what's your skill level?
I've won 2 ranked play tournaments so far.
I have won 2 DTCO tournaments, so I think we're even.
Okay, we'll call it even.
Yeah. So Nate and I are pretty equal skill levels, so we don't have to account for that. Second thing, pretty easy to account for. Ultimates whiffs. I believe I whiffed and you didn't.
We had, so that's another thing to think about when looking at ultimates and whiffs. So there was one whiff on your end and one ultimate on my end, but both were dice mod induced.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say the gate whiff was also stupidity induced. Like, I definitely shouldn't have been chasing 6s while I knew you had defensive dice mods in your hand. So I think we could chalk that up to like 50% you had a dice mod and 50% I misplayed horribly.
Right.
/ got unlucky. So we can kind of bin it in that place. You did also get an ultimate, but that was manufactured. I think the luck base on the ultimate comes from the fact that you got all these dice mods, which again, this usually doesn't happen. Like, literally every card you grabbed off the top of my deck was a playable basic card.
Yeah, literally every single one.
When you took this out of my hand.
Yeah, that one came out of your hand. Yeah. Literally all these came out of the top. Like, that was insane luck.
Yeah, like, I got garbage on top here. So yeah, this is like, if you take from the top card of the deck, it is equivalent to me drawing a card. So, like, I could have drawn all of these. That would have been great.
Like, just these alone right here, this little stack of 4 cards is like, well, you just stole the 4 best cards in the deck. So, that's pretty rough.
I also think I calculated how to play this matchup. What I was thinking is, Ninja has access to a lot of undefendable, so I can turn off Nate's shades by attacking with undefendable, and he can't spend them for a little while, and that makes his rolls more awkward, because like Sing for Death is really bad if you already have a shade on your board, and you haven't spent it yet. What I didn't think about is that undefendable is not very good when you don't have shade, and there's only one card in your deck that can give you shade at instant speeds. It's not really worth it to play around that. So what I probably, in those situations where I had like Death Blossom or the Small Straight, I think I still should have taken the Small Straight actually, because the Death Blossom was often like 6 undefendable, 7 undefendable. The Small Straight, assuming you don't have removal, which you probably don't, because again you don't have any of the basic cards. Like you saw, like I think you will have 1 card in your entire deck. I had this. But that only removes positive tokens.
Yeah, so that's all I had.
Right, there's like 1 card in your deck that can remove it, and it's very expensive, and it has downsides.
Okay.
So I probably should be doing this. This is almost guaranteed 8 damage, and I don't really care that you're rolling your defense, because your defense is on the weaker side. And then also, if I do go for the small straight, I can also get a large straight, and getting a large straight would have definitely turned the tides. A little bit in the game. So I think that is also me misplaying this matchup, and it kind of being a bad matchup. Ninja doesn't have any economy and isn't terribly well known for being like very bursty. Which is what you kind of want against Ashiok. Me, in particular, not having an economy is something you try to exploit that game by trying to like constantly take cards out of my hand and stuff. Yeah, I thought I would go ahead. So my kind of strategy after I read through this, so you happen to be talking to self-proclaimed world's best combo chaser on Spider-Man. so you know, I told you Thoughtseize, ooh, look, combo. So my kind of idea was just hard chase Thoughtseize / the basic with 4 of a kind to exile as many of your cards as possible, specifically to build up a big hit from an ult, which I figured I would get eventually. Also, sending him away from your hand was going to really hurt your econ, and I started the game with whatever it is, that card that puts an upgrade back. And so I thought, you play any upgrade, I play this. I hit your economy there, and then I can hit your economy here, and then you're going to be really hurting to actually play any cards for the rest of the game. And then I would say, yeah. Go ahead. I was going to say, and then I built up a bunch of stuff here, and I was thinking ultimate for big finisher damage, or if not ultimate, because I also drew the straights upgrade in my opening hand. Yeah.
I was thinking
It's
throw down
upgrade.
straights. Yeah, throw down straight, upgrade,
Spam
and
it.
then spam
Yeah.
big nightmares.
So I would say, do you think 17-0 is a reasonable result for this game?
For the way for these cards that I pulled, I mean
Yeah.
I don't I don't really see any way that goes different. The way that I personally play Ninja, and this is completely regardless of matchup, and I learned
It's
the hard
frustrating.
way. What happens when you don't do this is alternate smokescreen every other turn, always, no
Yeah.
matter what. Even if your opponent's a monk and is at 1 health, and you think, oh, I just need to do a little bit of damage to kill them, and then all of a sudden, uh, they live at 1 health for
Yeah.
4 turns in a row because you don't activate a smoke screen and you can't get enough damage out, and then they
That
kill you
doesn't
and you
sound
lose.
that doesn't sound specific at all.
Yeah, not a specific example at all that happened in a
Oh,
DTCO tournament.
totally.
Definitely not.
Totally.
So,
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely could have thought that matchup out better. So I think between that and your incredible luck
yeah, that was
on
insane luck.
grabbing cards off my deck, I think this is very reasonable.
Yeah.
So no balance concerns from what we saw that game, I
No,
would say.
no immediate concerns.
Other than this hero can have absurd games, but I think that's kind of
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
That's something you gotta remember. Is this was kind of like peak performance, basically, on
Yeah.
the exiling effect. Um, and lots of heroes can just seem really ridiculous at peak performance. Like any hero with evasive can just
Ninja.
take no damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so to be at basically peak performance, no whiffs, hitting the abilities I wanted, except for 1 or 2 times, but only winning by 17 health, um, says like probably
Yeah.
okay.
All right, so now speaking of cards, let's talk about the cards. So we're gonna go through these fairly quickly because there's a lot of them, especially because you've already seen them.
Yeah.
Pride.
Fine.
Pride.
You've seen that a million
It's
times.
actually funny enough, it's like the best dice spot in your deck.
Yeah. Uh,
Just, yeah.
yeah, pretty much. This one, obviously, a
Negate.
counter, which I used to get you to whiff. Good card. It's
It's
just
also worth noting you can play it on your own dice.
I thought about that, but
Yeah.
definitely way better as a
Yeah.
defense. This one, remove positive sec. Good situationally in this particular matchup. Would have been really good if you ever got a smoke bomb, but you didn't.
Aha.
Um,
Perfect play.
this one, to be honest, probably a little bit too strong. Because
My thought was
I'm curious. Yeah.
concuss on Barbarian,
Yeah.
where your opponent loses a CP in a card and you pay 1 CP. This
Yeah.
card only makes them lose a card. The upside being you could take that card if it was good, but you don't
Right.
know if it was going to be good.
Right.
It's definitely not a card you can just slam and get max value out of. You have to wait for your opponent to possibly have like a strong hand, and then you can try to pick it apart.
Yeah. I'm.
But after a thought these,
Yeah.
which is really really funny because a big argument in Magic is whether or not you do Thoughtseize or Hypnotoric first.
Oh. Yeah. The reason I think it might be a little bit overtuned for on this hero versus on a barbarian is our barbarian doesn't really have any other disruption at all, whereas this hero has a fair bit of disruption, and then this is just free extra disruption.
Yeah. I was thinking if it was like all opponents exile 1 from their hand, like not randomly. First off, that would be a little bit of a flavor fail, and second, I thought it wouldn't be good enough. Have 1 CP. I can maybe think about it. It might just end up being one of the stronger cards in the deck because, as you're going to see, like no basic cards. It's a lot of power removed from the hero.
Yeah.
If all of these cards are like unique card power level, then you're going to be losing a lot of value off every draw.
Yeah.
Because you're not having that high end. So I think it's fine for some of the cards to be a little overtuned.
And that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Promo. Not much to say about the promo other than it didn't work. So this one is just a really neutered version of not this time. Still worth it to pay 1 CP to prevent 3, which you're going to get hit for more than 6.
Yeah. At some point.
At some point. So still worth it, but it's missing not this time.
This card you missed. I think either you missed or you didn't care for some of the fun play you can do with this card. Namely, you can put an upgrade on top of that player's deck and then +2 on loyalty, and exile it.
Yes,
So
you
if your
could.
opponent
I did.
has say Pyroblast 3, you can get
There,
rid of it forever.
there,
Thank God.
there's a couple of things you can do. One of them, I definitely did it a little too. I got a little too excited about just hitting you for the morale and the econ. But what I should have done was waited slightly longer because this is instant. I should have let you roll, say I'd like to activate Death Blossom, and then I
In
said
response.
I removed the upgrade to Death
Whee!
Blossom. Yeah,
Yeah,
is what I
no,
should have
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
But yeah, that hurts their econ for sure. But it also costs 2 and hurts your econ.
My
so.
one concern about this card, um, guess what matchup this is unwinnable against Ashiok?
Oh, you swipe their upgrade.
Yeah.
Black Widow.
Yup.
Swipe their
I tried
Red
it.
Room 2 upgrade.
Yeah, I tried it. It was egregious.
If
Also, if Ashiok could just like take upgrades out of your hand, and it makes it much harder to get to the thresholds you need. So yeah, I'm kind of fine with that, honestly. Black Widow, like eventually a hero was gonna like have an egregious matchup against Black Widow. That's kind of the nature of her. But yeah, that matchup is really annoying.
Yeah. Okay, that's rough. Yeah, that would definitely be really rough.
Yeah.
But under normal circumstances,
It's fine.
It's the same idea as this. Like, I spend 2 CP in a card, you lose a card, and however much you paid for whatever upgrade, usually 1 or 2 CP.
Maybe a little delta.
Yeah.
I was trying to activate that ability.
Yep. Time Twister. It's that card from the Pirates deck but main phase.
And that shuffles your discard pile.
Yeah, and it shuffles your discard pile in, which I honestly didn't really see a great use for that with the cards I had.
It's a flavor thing. That's what it does in Magic too.
Okay.
In Magic, it does that to everyone. So you can thank me for not doing that.
Yeah, that would have been a lot. Okay. This one, again, I wasn't sure how close the health totals were going to be at the end, and I knew I wanted to stall out a little longer, and I also didn't know what kind of cards I might be drawing into, and I felt like what I had was good enough, so I didn't play it. But that seemed a reasonable play if I had known some cards that I wanted to find.
Yeah.
This one is really strong, but it costs 2 CP, and that's
it's kind of conditional.
Yeah, that's like what you want out of a 2 CP attack mod, is that it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
So this one also didn't get to play it. I really wanted to, but I ended up needing to.
Better.
Yeah, I needed to sell it so I could afford Twice as Wild.
Yeah.
But that would have been definitely worth a play once I got it.
Here we go.
Upgrades. Okay, so let's see. Put
take 2 cards instead of 1.
Yep. Okay. Gain Shade. Yeah, that's just 2 instead of 1, and then a mini ult for Heal Shade and Nightmare. Pretty good. Not bad at all. Yep, mini ult upgrade. And then also you can kind of see, or you can think about it. It costs 2 CP, but if you ever activate this, you can just sell the card that you get for another CP. Also, that makes me think, if you sell a card that you take from lost
players sold. Players sold. I have to fix that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't say that.
There's a couple of wording things I have to fix on the hero, but I figured you would know what the intent was, so I didn't find it urgent.
Okay. What is this? Death Shadow 2 CP. If you have less health than a chosen opponent, this card costs 1 less. Gain Shade. So, for most of that game, I had less health than you, so that would have been a really good pull.
Yeah.
But actually, probably not, because you did undefendable to me almost the entire game.
I did not letting you use that.
So actually, I would, but I could have waited until you did defendable.
The one time it is defendable.
Then I could have saved it to play, so that would have been good. Yeah. Ponder, look at the top 3 of your deck, put them back in any order. Then you can shuffle your deck if you want to.
Did you put something like this in one of the heroes you're making?
He's very, very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you sent. Did you send a picture of the actual Ponder card?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is literally just what Ponder does in Magic.
Okay. Literally the same. Yeah, I mean, it seems good.
It's banned in a format or two.
A CP to draw 1.
Yeah.
In Dice Throne, that's perfectly reasonable.
You're gonna get a bit of card selection.
Yeah. Mind Break Trap 2 CP. If your opponent is declaring their ultimate ability, this card costs 2 CP less. Select one of your dice, force to reroll. Okay, so that's kind of mean. Yeah, that's really mean.
Hey, it's their fault they were going for it.
Is it though? Oof.
It is not very good if they're not doing that.
So
And it loses value in the late game because you're already holding up dice mods and your opponent knows about them.
yeah, to be fair, so far all I've seen. Let's see what do we got left. 16 cards. Okay, so to be fair,
Yeah.
this is the only other like dice mod I've seen because you don't get the basics, and this one can't
Yeah.
can't get them out of an ultimate. So you really do
Right.
need something like this. So that's fair. Put one from Under Lost Memories into your hand. Oh, a CP to trade this card for one of these. That's
Well, you say it that way.
yeah, that's pretty good, especially if you
Yeah.
have something like Twice as Wild. If I could have traded one CP
I
for
mean,
a Twice as Wild,
you usually don't have twice as wild.
you usually don't, but like, yikes, that's a lot of
Yeah.
value. You might consider
It's on the stronger side. That's gonna be my excuse for all of these.
right. You might consider letting that let you pay the CP cost in loyalty instead of twice.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
this-
Kind of the idea is that I wanted you to be able
That's
to
a lot.
do this on top of your loyalty for the turn.
an extra effect.
Yeah. I could have its cost scale based on the CP of the card you're taking.
I could do
But
that.
also that is. Oh, you know what I would do?
Huh.
I would have you take damage based on the CP cost of the card because that's on flavor for reanimated magic.
Perfect. Yeah, let
So
it
twice
do
as,
that.
Like if you take twice as wild, it also hits you for 3.
Yes, yeah. Take damage equal to the CP cost card. That's
then
much more
also-
reasonable.
And
and
also add a
then
bit more synergy to the kit. As
yeah.
you see.
okay. All right. Defense upgrade. I can put these
Yeah,
elsewhere.
this one's fun.
Got it here. Become Darkness 2. Roll 5 dice. Perfectly reasonable. Oh, and you just gain shade when you play it. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's broken. All right, moving on.
Oh what? Hey. My
That's
thought was this is not a defense you could activate every turn, so it's not equivalent
yeah.
value to other defense upgrades. So I wanted to give you a shade so you could get something out of
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's fair. That's
It
fair.
might need to cost 3.
That's right. That's insanely good in a matchup not like this.
Yeah.
This is an instant play
Hard to avoid.
basically.
Okay.
At 2 CP, instantly play this every time,
Alright,
no
I'll
matter
make it
what,
I'll
and
make it
then always activate anything with shade, basically, because
Yes.
that's insane value. All right, Nightmare Weaver 2. Exile one from your hand to draw 1, deal +1 damage, +1 die. I don't know what the odds are on that, but you got 2 on effects, so I'm guessing it's
This is very likely to be undefendable.
yeah, just really
Yeah.
makes it a lot more consistent on what you
That's
get.
the way you play this. There's a reason you play this if you really want undefendable Nightmare Weaver.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't see anything
Yeah.
inherently wrong with that. Delver of Secrets. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a main phase action card or an instant card, heal 3, otherwise heal 1. Interesting. Was there anything that let me look at the top card of my deck?
Ponder.
Is that it?
So far, yeah.
Okay, so not
I
a
think
whole
that's
lot
about
of...
it. You could also just slam it and just hope for the best.
That's probably what I would do. Not a whole lot of
It's like a little
synergy
The
there.
odds are a little in your favor, I think. So you can just slam it down and it like heals you about 2 on average.
Damnation, 3 CP. Remove all status effects tokens from all players. Okay, that could be
Yeah.
really good. Also could
removes
be
one of your
bad.
loyalty.
It does, yeah. Okay, so it could be bad.
Yeah.
Could be good.
So it's very expensive.
Yeah. Okay. Fatal Push. If you've received damage this turn or are currently receiving damage, add 3 damage. Otherwise, add 1. So when somebody is hitting you back,
Yeah.
it's a big attack mod for +3
Or
for
if you
1
took
CP.
or if you took damage from say playing Necropotence.
Ah, okay. I see.
Uh
A couple of card combos going in there.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. Counterspell. After an opponent plays a card to change the value of 1 or more dice, change those dice back to their previous values. Very mean, but 2 CP.
Right. It's usually you pay more than your opponent paid to change the dice in the first place.
Unless
it's twice as wild.
unless it's twice as wild, but
Yeah.
kind of still the excuse is quotes you don't have as many dice mods in your deck. This a reminder. This is shouldn't. This is abnormal.
Yeah.
Okay, Orcish Bowmasters. Well, I don't know. This is definitely abnormal, but I wonder.
You usually get at least 1 dice mod.
Yeah, how many
off
you
of
get
Lost Memories, but
normally?
it takes a while to like put it in your hand and stuff, and it pressures your CP more and stuff like that.
Okay, chosen opponent receives 1 slight advantage for each card they have drawn this turn. to max 4. That's cool. Um, yeah, that's just a cool card. I like it.
How do you feel about triple up now?
Yeah. Uh, Oracle. Exile the top 2 cards of your deck. Then if your deck is empty, heal 6. Oh, that's neat. I definitely was not ever thinking I might be able to actually exile my whole deck.
Yeah, I might rework Thassa's Oracle a bit. It's kind of a pipe dream. For those who are familiar with Magic, don't worry, there is no combo that lets you turn this on immediately.
Yeah.
Usually this card is played, so in Magic, the reward for your deck being empty or almost empty is not heal 6, it's you win the game. And people combo with that a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this card's kind of a pipe dream, but, 2 CP, kind of draw 2, instant speed, sometimes it works out.
Yeah. I would say I was exile the top 2 of your deck, and from what I noticed, there was some stuff that let me exile things, but I didn't see anything that really scaled off of my exiling.
It's mostly so you can get them later. Like, it's like exile a card to draw a card. If you exile a card, you could get it later if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But usually not a big thing you usually do.
Okay.
So there used to be more like self-exile synergy, but again, you're more interested in taking the opponent's basic cards, so it wasn't very prevalent.
Definitely. This is just +1 damage for 1 CP. Totally fine.
Yeah.
1 CP for gain 3 CP. Lol. Getting paid.
Yeah.
But bigger.
At home.
Yeah, we have getting paid at
but
home.
worse.
Time warp 4 CP at the conclusion of his turn. Begin an additional. Yeah. I still think this card's broken.
Okay.
Because
it's on the stronger side.
No, it's broken.
Oh. It costs effectively like 6 CP.
How?
Because you lose an income phase.
You don't lose an income phase. You gain a second offensive roll phase and a second activation of loyalty. This isn't. Yeah, this is. This card does not say skip your income phase. This card says 4 CP. You may activate an additional loyalty effect and take an additional offensive roll phase.
Okay, but consider this. Spider-Man has a 3 CP card that lets you take an additional offensive roll phase. This only does a little more than that.
Spider-Man's abilities suck. They're all so bad.
It's not the straights anymore.
No, straights are good now. His straights are really good.
Yeah.
But
that is. I think I could bump it up to 5, but I still want an extra turn card in this deck because it's really funny.
It is really funny. I would say
it's fun to try. You know how much I love my super expensive cards.
Yeah, I would say a better use would, instead of just throwing a whole extra turn in there, let it not be quite as expensive and let it just say you can activate another loyalty effect.
Keep going with the cards.
But just throwing it out there. Okay, propaganda. Play only when being attacked. If your attacker may pay you 2 CP if they don't roll 5. Oh, that's really mean.
Fine.
Oh, it costs 0 too. Ooh.
It's like ransom.
Yeah.
But instead of a helping hand, you get like an escape.
Yeah. Ouch. Okay. Demonic Tutor. 2 CP. Search your deck for a card. Put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. Yeah. So this character doesn't really have any extra CP generation, so
yeah,
2 CP costs to do that would be tough to afford. So
especially because you can't get any basic cards with that.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay, Bashful Strix 2 CP. Gain Shade. Opponent cannot remove loyalty from you until your next turn. I don't really know that second effect is going to be a big deal, but
for reference, that one turn where you had 7 loyalty and you decided to +2 me instead of grabbing the twice as spot. If you had grabbed the twice as spot, it would have played Get That Out of Here in your last loyalty, and it would have screwed you over for the rest of the game.
Ah, I see.
So if you hadn't done the fun route, you would have been again massively screwed over. So that's what this card is for. It's generally when you're playing as Ashiok, you want to avoid going to 1 loyalty
because it could get removed. That's something I didn't think of. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what that's for.
So that's
also why the stack limit here is 11. So if you -10, you have to have a backup plan. Because if you exile all of the cards by discard and then remove your last loyalty, how are you going to get them?
Right. So okay, that's cool. I like that now. Sing for Death 2 is +1 damage.
I had to do this bonus.
And yeah, a big yeah. I don't know if that's balanced or not.
It's fine. It's fine.
Prob-
This real objective is already kind of like inaccessible. It doesn't really work well with the other abilities on your board. That's Nightmare Weaver.
But I'm not going for Nightmare Weaver.
Oh, okay. Are you? Are you not going for Nightmare Weaver now?
Nope. Okay,
Ooh,
it's fine.
Congratulations. Not gonna continue testing that.
That's usually that's my my sniff.
That's kind of the thing. Yeah,
My
three Bs. You're in the danger zone.
Yeah, I do a. That's my sniff test for
Yeah.
suspicious looking looking roll objectives and abilities. I just do a roll attempt real quick and see if I can hit it.
Yeah.
Just
Very
to see.
scientific.
Yeah, it's super duper scientific. But yeah, okay. Yeah, all pretty much all the cards look good except for you. Obviously like Time Warp a lot. I think it's broken.
I'll make it 5 CP just for you.
Okay, thanks. This one you were gonna add some damage to it,
Yeah.
and then this one maybe do something else because I don't think that's really ever gonna happen.
I'll make it 1, so it's kind of like a double up with extra steps.
Okay.
And then there's also the Peg Dream. I think that will be fair.
Okay.
Because it's the double up with a lot of extra steps, a lot of very cumbersome extra steps.
There's a lot of extra steps. Yeah.
And then I can make the 6 CP as well.
Yeah. Yeah. One more CP on this one too. Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Okay. Took a straight out of those cards, so I don't change them. So what did you think of the hero overall?
Overall, it seemed pretty good. Played pretty well. I don't know that I would really do a different strategy. I feel like exiling probably Thoughtseize plus first loyalty to just build your stack of loyalty and try and get up to maybe 6 or so opponents' cards, and then just going for straights.
There's kind of like some different routes you can go through.
I don't know. I might do if my opponent has like really really poor access to undefendable. I might be a lot more interested in a Sing for Death if I get close to it. But I could still get a shade from a large straight if I just chase straights. So that's kind of the line I think I would generally go for until it proved ineffective.
Mm-hmm.
Is look for Nightmare after a couple of turns of exiling, because if you can hit Thoughtseize 2 turns in a row and use the first thing 2 turns in a row, that's 4 cards in 2 turns, and then third turn you get your 5th card, and then you can probably go ahead and go for your straights after that.
Yeah. I think the way I usually make heroes is I have them have like a default strat that they go for, and then if certain circumstances make a different strat better, then there are other things you can go for as well. This is totally not modeled off my favorite hero, Jean Grey. So that is kind of the default strat, where you try to get a bunch of cards in exile, and then Nightmare is good enough that you just throw it out. It is a little awkward, because by the time you throw out that Nightmare, it's not as good as a burn, because the game's already like halfway over.
Right.
So it gets a little awkward, but you can definitely go that route. You definitely said, if your opponent doesn't have any undefendable, the shade is much better. Also, if your opponent has good undefendable, you might take Nightmare Weaver a little more, because it can still put that Nightmare on, but it can also be undefendable.
Oh, if your opponent has good defense, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's also Thoughtseize. If your opponent is like Monk and they have Cleanse, the Nightmare might not be a good strat, so you might
that's true.
You might pivot based on that. Because they could just remove the Nightmare whenever they want.
Yeah, I'd probably go something else in that case.
And if you take a bunch of your opponent's like really good cards, you might consider just grabbing those cards, giving up on the Nightmare entirely, and going for like an ult kill, Shadow Thief style.
Mm-hmm.
There's like other stuff you can do. Like if you Thoughtseize your opponent on turn 1 and their hand is like absolute garbage, you might just not Thoughtseize them again.
Just let them have garbage cards.
Yeah, like if they top deck something, so be it.
Right.
That's kind of why Thoughtseize isn't as strong in Dice Throne as it is in Magic. Like Thoughtseize is like a staple card in multiple formats in Magic. Because in Magic you can mulligan your hand, so when your opponent has their hand, it's probably good.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they would have thrown it back in. So now you get to take the best card out of it, and now their hand isn't very good anymore, and it's too late for them to mulligan again.
Mm-hmm.
In Dice Throne, you are dealt a hand of 4 cards, and you have to keep it. So if it's absolute garbage and you thought seize me, congratulations. You just like you made me lose 1 CP and then you dealt 2 undefendable damage.
Yeah, not
And
great.
that was your entire turn. So
Not great.
It's kind of risky to turn 1 Thoughtseize in Dice Throne, which I think is really funny. But obviously it worked that game.
Yep. It did work that game quite well.
Also makes you really want to go first.
It does, because you get to immediately check and get rid of any good cards they have before they get a chance to play them.
Like if you had let me go first, I probably would have tried to see if I could use the twice as well.
Mm-hmm. Sell something and then play it to get
even
good.
if not to use it on my turn to like twice as well. I could like try to twice as well you out of the Thoughtseize. Probably not worth it though, because either way it's gone.
Right.
But if I play it, you can't have it, so it's kind of close depending on stuff. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the hero. I think that game went pretty well, other than you getting extremely lucky the whole thing. And I definitely think some of it was on my end, so that's good.
Yep.
But yeah, this video's been really long.
Yeah, we should probably go ahead and cut it off. It's been 1:15. That's not too bad.
It's the longest video we've had since the
Yamayugi one. Well,
yeah.
Sometimes they're longer. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, coolio. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.